Shut up, Dank. This is going to be a chain skewer run featuring a Zag Spear. Whether or not I'm going to call it good yet is very questionable. It's been a bit since we did it. Gonna go for Wet Uncle on the special. Chain skewer, kind of notoriously not amazing, but who knows? Maybe I'll finally change my mind. It's been a while. You could also do Vicious Skewer. The special hits up to 7 foes, dealing 30% base damage each. Flurry Jab is probably actually better than both of these, honestly. Not amazing, but good. Yeah, will I describe it as good? Is it bad? I don't know if it's bad. I don't know if it's bad. I got the DPS meter for y'all. 7 is actually quite a bit. Mirage doesn't count the extra lodge on the health bar. Okay, that's good to know. Obviously, it's going to feel bad right now. I don't know if... Is this a chain skewer problem, or is this just a spear special problem? Potentially, right? Because I think the problem is that the base damage on the spear special is just very bad. So without, like, charge skewer or exploding launch, it ain't fine design, you know what I mean? Okay, but what's going on? That was rough. We'll see. We'll see. Special damage? Watch me get like plus 100% special damage. I'm like, yeah, it's good. See? You just gotta ask, and that's how you make sure it happens. Of course it's good. People are suddenly believing for the bet now all of a sudden. Which hammers combined with the chain special? You can't do exploding launcher, I know that much. I can't remember if you can do charge skewer or not. Vicious skewer would not be that great. Kaboom. Vicious skewer wouldn't be great because you only really get anything. You don't get much back except for on the return of the spear anyway. So I don't think it's an amazing combo anyway. Special speed is probably not even great from Hermes here because you're mostly just waiting for the spear to land before you can recall it. Down, 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 boom, boom. Yeah, we kind of got to worry about the timer, so we're going to go this way. Yeah, I'll buy a palm. Do we have Underworld Customs on? We do. Okay. So we do need boons to sell. Ugh, stop trying to force me to take money. Now, this is a chamber where Chain Skewer excels. Can we agree? Hello? But single target is bad. It's very bad. Oh, we actually got the money from that. More Poseidon sounds good. All right, I'm going to go for it. Woo! Yeah, baby. Look at that. Look at that. All right, chat. You're browsing Tinder. You're a single young man and or woman. And I'll go for that. We'll get a higher rarity shoals. Don't worry, chat. Hey, Zeus. Security. In their profile under hobbies, specifically hobbies, I've never browsed Tinder, so I don't know how this actually works. They put travel. And that's the only hobby they have. That's the only thing they have listed. How much do you assume that they actually travel? How much would you assume that they actually travel? Yo, sneak! %? Not a whole lot. Once. Once. Sea Storm, here we come, chat. They don't travel, you assume. So to me, when someone puts down travel as a hobby, it's more like they enjoy when they do travel, but I feel like almost nobody actually can say that traveling is their hobby. Like, if you get 3 weeks of vacation time and all 3 of those weeks you go on you travel somewhere, right? Like, is that a hobby, really, though? That's not a hobby. That's not, to me, like, that's just something that you do during your vacation. That's a hobby, I feel like, we've talked about this before, I'll admit. I feel like that's more, it's a pastime, it should be, right? It should be more of a pastime. Ooh. I'm gonna go for that, even though timer's low. All right, we need things to sell anyway. Oh. Sure. Razor shoals. Razor shoals. On their own dime, never. I don't know if I judge it based on that. It's almost like, I feel like when they put that in there, it's more like they like it when they can travel, but like most normal people, you probably can't actually travel that often, right? I would also assume that they might be, because they refuse to put anything besides travel in their hobby section for their bio, they're probably really boring. They're probably really boring. Because they couldn't think of anything else to say about themselves than that.
Pleasure doing business.
It is 32 heat at the end of the day. It's kind of like hiking. I guess with hiking, like, that could be it. I don't think like it's often a real hobby for people, but I guess it could be. It could be, I feel, at least. Like, if you actually go on like some kind of path, a walk through nature, like, what do you think? What's the minimum here? 4 times a week? That, to me, that's a hobby. I think that's a hobby. What do you think, chatties? I don't know. Is it not a hobby just because you're limited to how often you can do it? Is how often you do it a determining factor of whether it's a hobby or not? Can I really say? Like it's one of those things. Like, sure, I would. It's like, that's why you're like, I think you can't really call travel quite it, from at least the vast majority, because of course, if you could be traveling, the majority of people would probably be doing it. Like, if you could be in Bermuda on the white sandy beach or whatever, you'd probably do it. Oh, I really want Sea Storm. Fine.
Won't be needing that. Okay.
Uncle Zeus. Uncle Zeus.
Up we go.
Feel like I don't do anything except work greater than 3 times a week? Huh? Oh, there's, well, like watching Twitch. That's a hobby to me. Well, okay. This is, we're getting back into this hobby discussion. What counts? And what doesn't, I'll admit. Chain Skewer looking pretty good. Sounds like propaganda to me. Big Skewer's getting to him. I guess if I were to ask someone what their hobbies are, I don't really want to hear about the things they wish they did more necessarily. I want to know how they actually spend their free time. You know what I'm saying? Cooking's a hobby if you do it for fun. I think it definitely can be. Cooking can be. Whereas something like doing the dishes, I don't know if that could be. Maybe it technically could be. If you like go to do other people's dishes. Like if you cook for like other people just because you enjoy cooking or something like that, I think that counts, kind of. Like, we all agree that playing video games is a hobby probably here, right? I would be shocked if anyone does not agree with that. Watching video games. Watching someone else play a video game, though. Does that not count? Ow, itchy. I have yarn. Do we want to see if special speed does anything? I'm pretty sure it doesn't really work here, though. You listed video games as a hobby and your Tinder was a mistake? Yeah, that's unfortunate that some things are like that, right? 20% special speed. It doesn't really do anything, sadly. If watching TV is a hobby, watching gameplay is also. That's where it's kind of hard to say. No one would say watching pro sports is a hobby. I think people would say that watching sports counts as a hobby because you're taking interest in it. I think that's actually. I feel like most sport watchers would they not?
Hey, look, it's me, witches.
I feel like they would all count it as a hobby. Watching the Pats, watching the Sox, Tim Brady throwing the old pig ball around or whatever. Sea Storm. I'm pretty sure most people would say that. That are really into it, at least. Like, I've watched a sports affiliated game before. It certainly wouldn't be a hobby of mine because I do it. I don't dislike watching, but I definitely don't seek it out.
Passive watching, not a hobby.
What's in the pool
Regularly heckling streamer may be a hobby.
That's true. That's actually true. And by the way, text-to-speech is 100 bits, chat. So, pick the last Hermes, I guess, right?
More bone rakers.
Go, chain skewer.
Bring it.
I mean, it's looking pretty good to me right now, chat.
In the name of Hades.
Auto reload, don't be doing nothings. Why doesn't it come out to 2.26 seconds, by the way, chat? Why isn't it 2.25? Unless there's a range on it. So, does simply... If you listen to music, like 99.9% of people, you only listen to music, you don't play any instruments, you don't make music in any shape or form. Can you not... Are you not allowed to call that a hobby? Is the problem more so that if you call... If you allow simply listening to music to be a hobby, it's just too broad because most people listen to music, right? Where do you draw the line? I'm not even saying that there is a line or anything like that. Why would it not be a hobby? It's kind of like, is commuting to work? Well, I guess not. Okay, I'm trying to think, like something that like quite literally everyone does. It's the same thing, like watching TV. Is that a hobby? Because I feel like most people say, for some reason, we draw the line at watching TV. And I guess I don't really know why. Yeah, commuting's not a good one. I don't know why we draw the line where, like, watching TV, no. Listening to music, yes. Aphrodite. Music you can analyze, usually TV you don't. What? No way. Are you kidding me? You know how many times I've analyzed the movie It Follows? You know how many discussions I've had around the film It Follows that you can find right now on Amazon Prime TV, chat, at this very moment? You could be watching it for Halloween. By the way, they announced a sequel to It Follows recently, the other day, called They Follow. I highly suggest you all check it out. Not a sponsor, by the way. What do you think it's going to be about, chat? No, but yeah, seriously, I guess I would make the argument that you kind of got to allow TV in there. Whether we like it or not, I think you got to allow TV in there. I think you kind of have to. And it's a thing that the majority of people do, right? Which means that it doesn't feel like much of a hobby. Perhaps the better way to describe your TV watching habits when it comes to trying to describe your hobbies is by simply talking about what type of TV you watch. Because if you watch a lot of science fiction, it feels a bit more like a hobby when you deep dive into it that way, does it not? It feels a little bit more like it, like it's a bit more personalized. Whereas if there's simply a TV on in the background, you know, all hours of the day, it feels a bit different. Like if you're really into, like even if you're just like, you're really into Game of Thrones, right? For instance. every season. The last season's actually your favorite season. You wish that they made more of the last season. You're really into Game of Thrones. Would you really say, like, Game of Thrones isn't your hobby, but maybe, you know, like, essentially it's a shoot-off of watching TV as a hobby? It swallows? What? Some people watch TV occasionally, some people watch a lot of TV. I don't know if I know anyone that only watches TV on what I would call occasionally. Like, occasionally to me means it's less than, like, you don't watch some every day. And I don't know if I know anybody that doesn't watch at least some amount of TV every day. And TV could be, like, what does TV encompass? Like, a Twitch stream, like most people would say, is not TV. Right, chat? Or is it close enough? Or is it close enough? I don't know. Like, to me, Netflix essentially equals TV. Like, all the streaming services equals TV. Watching movies on those, that's the broader scope of TV in my eyes. Twitch is on your TV. Yeah, that's a thing. Like, TV is very broad. Watching YouTube videos, I think you kind of gotta count it. I don't know. Does that count as TV, chat? I'm very broad. Yeah, you know it. I don't know. Is there like a sex joke in there somewhere? Oh! I told you it was good, chat. I told you it was good. Entertainment is not a hobby. So if I whittle in my spare time and I find it entertaining to whittle... So wait, if I find my hobby entertaining, I can't call it a hobby? I don't know if that really works. I don't know if that quite works, that statement. Hobby can absolutely be entertaining. I think I understand what you're saying, though. Like, so you're trying to say... But that means, like, listening to music can't be a hobby. I guess I could see where listening to music... Most people don't... maybe not most, but I feel like it's not actually... You can get a chat. If you sit down and you put on music and you sit there and you listen to the music, maybe you read the lyrics on the inside the CD case at the same time, you're kind of crossing over into a different place where I would probably agree, like, hey, you're kind of making a hobby out of this, you know? Whereas if you just listen to the radio on the way to work, to the classic rock station for some fucking Lou Reed or whatever, I like that. That's kind of, it doesn't feel the same. Correct, Amundo? It don't feel the same. It doesn't matter. It's just a fun discussion. Most of these things don't matter. I'm looking at it from the perspective of, you try to get to know someone, right? You try to get to know someone. You want to sum up your interests in your quote-unquote hobbies, right, chat? Do you not? So what are the honest things that you can say?
Easy.
And what are the things that people typically end up putting, sadly? We'll pound the waves. We'll pound the waves. Taco Cat, thank you so much for the gift sub. I don't know. I'm pretty generous when it comes down to it. If you really want to think it's a hobby, then I guess we got, like, I'm just gonna say go ahead. If that's what you feel you're passionate about, this is where it went last time.
Hear me on my authority.
What the hell did Goober just put it? What is this? That's a quote from American Psycho, isn't it? I feel like that's a quote from American Psycho. Something about Whitney Houston's album.
Just what I need.
Nice try, game. Nice try. Oh, do I have time for that? I would do it, but I don't want to throw the run because we just don't really have time. When he's about to kill the dude, does he? Yeah, I think he talks about... Is that when he talks about Whitney Houston in the movie? In the book, they have entire chapters of him ranting about this or that musician.
In the name of Hades.
Dum, 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 dum. Yeah, like in the book, he talks about Huey Lewis in the news.
Not yet.
There's a whole chapter about Whitney, a whole chapter about Huey Lewis in the news, and I think there's one other... Oh, is it Genesis or Phil Collins or both? I can't remember. I think he has a whole chapter about that as well. Dum, dum, dum. Kaboom! Is that where it's just there is no like strict answer that you can really give. It's kind of just about what are you passionate about. But I guess my point is, going back to the start of the conversation, is putting travel in your bio as a hobby just feels kind of like I'm not really learning anything about you. You know what I mean? And I know it's the thing is it's tough out there. I'm not actually going to like go on a lecture on anyone about that because it's tough out there, right, chat? You can't put the honest things all the time into your bio, can you? You can't put that that you like watching twitch.tv/Haelian and shouting, yo, that's my gooching bang at the top of your lungs, right? Unfortunately. Someday will be accepted. Someday, chat. You shouldn't put I mod for Haelian in your profile. Maybe that would be impressive to some people. I don't know. To some people, maybe. Their first reaction when you tell them that, they just be like, who? I'm pretty sure. And then you'd have to go on this long explanation. You could probably make some up. You know, we got the world first no-hit run in this video game called Hades. Who?
Should help keep me going.
The Goochmeister himself? Saint Goochmas? I have all my death defiances. Okay. The guy who said Maxi would never be cleared. That was taken out of context, you know. Wait, I don't use this. We can get rid of it.
To the surface.
Someone who sees travel as a hobby is that they put effort into it, like go to new places every time to find interesting things to do when they go, etc. Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. My only debate is like, I don't know, it kind of feels like that's most people when they go on a vacation. Clear the next day? It took 9 days. Thank you very much. Or was it 8 days? 8 or 9 days. I forget which number.
Let's see here.
Thank you very much, Twitch chat. Not putting effort into anything is your hobby. Ah, they got us, chat. They got us. Would sightseeing be a hobby? I don't know. Sleeping a hobby? Can you? Is there anything that you can't make a hobby technically? I can foresee like gourmet sleeping, right? It's like you go to different, unique, and interesting places to have a little nap. You know what I'm saying? You go to Bed Bath and Beyond. You sneak a little shut eye in one of their beds there. Does that not count, chat? Huh? Hey? Oh? Huh? He? What do you think?
This blasted place again.
I don't know. I think you gotta count it. I think you gotta count it.
Olympus, I accept this message.
You can't go to Bed Bath and Beyond anymore. Oh, did I just age myself?
Can't do that.
Uh-oh.
comes first.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I don't know if I can think of anything like straight up like that can't be. That's impossible. Triple B doesn't exist anymore. They did have one. Not, I feel like I've been to one in the past year. Like driving can be a hobby, definitely. If you drive in your spare time. Even like listening to the radio could be a hobby, because if you just sit down and quietly listen to the radio in an empty padded room, we're gonna have to allow it, I guess. I'll admit, like, you know what, I have a weird, like, it's not a hobby, I would describe it. But the YouTube rabbit hole, watching people, like, tour around empty, defunct stores that are basically going out of business. Anyone seen these? They'll go into, like, a Macy's or a JCPenney or shit like that. Kmart. Ow. What's the sexiest hobby? What's the sexiest hobby? And why is it playing Hades for personal computer? What is the most subtle way to impress someone with the hobby? Like weightlifting, it's not gonna tee everyone up, you know what I mean? Some people, but not everyone. Having sex?
Should be the place.
Having sex could be a hobby. It could be, I guess. Although,
Hungry Cyrus?
I mean, baking. I think baking is actually a good one.
Place, mate.
I really do. Because that's like a subtle way of saying, like, I'll cook you a delicious cream cheesecake or whatever. Rocket surgeon. What? To impress people with a hobby, talk about it at length and passion. Yeah, but not like... There's a line you gotta draw somewhere. You gotta be able to read when you're losing them, you know what I mean? And know when to turn the conversation back to them. Anyone have one of those conversations where it just kept going? It just kept going and going and going. That was like my stepdad with the goddamn RC cars. Oh my god. I mean, I actually thought the RC cars were kind of cool, but it's like he never actually drove them. He just talked about them. And I was so annoyed about this. Like, I want to drive it, but he wouldn't let me. Said it was going to get sticky or some shit. Just want to drive the RC car, you bitch. Ah! Look at the damage counter. Sorry it's so invasive here. I wonder what the second one is. It might be like the returning spear, like when we recall it, because it probably counts that separately. You like hearing people talk about their passions? I like hearing people talk about something they're very knowledgeable in generally. Even if it's something that I don't know a lot of, well, I guess especially when it's something I don't know a lot about. Even if it's not something I actually have a strong interest in. Sometimes it's just interesting to hear the finer details of something that I didn't really know about. Like kind of revealing the iceberg to something, you know what I'm saying? Like I had the guy come over earlier to inspect the furnace, and honestly it was just kind of fascinating to hear like the intricate details of how the furnace works and how the maintenance should go, and like all the different like little details around it. Holy God. Maybe I'm boring, but ah! Ow. Okay, stop getting hit though. I think I still have Meg. So come on. It's kind of hard to like charge the skewer accurately here. You gotta wait for a spin to use Meg or this. Ow, coward. Here's the thing with Chain Skewer. You can do this with Chain Shot on the bow, too. Hide behind the pillars and it'll bounce off the pillar. And it'll hit them. That's the cheese, chat. That's the cheese. Damn it! Ricochet Fire does it, too. Oh my god, it's 5 o'clock already. Look at the damage counter. My god. See you back home. Do. We did it. What's the verdict, chat? What do you think?
Goodbye.
What do you think? Would you call Chain Skewer good? Bear in mind. Keep your bears in mind. We did have that for this run. And we actually had the ideal hammers as well. We also had the perfect hammer setup where is the actual thing. Chain Skewer, Charge Skewer, double special damage from Chaos. This was a relatively lucky run. So if I have a spectrum here, I have like bad, okay, good, great, or something like that. Does it fall into the good category? Let me know in the YouTube comments, what do you think? I'm gonna go in the realm of good. I'm gonna call it good. I'm calling it good. Okay? I don't think it's bad. Maybe it falls closer to okay. But I think if you're running Zag Spear, it's not inherently wrong to take it. And it's better than a lot of other hammers that will be offered, I guess.